In the past, we used to have to do 4 individual forms, which is a little bit cumbersome to use. It did the job, but it was a little bit time consuming because you couldn't do some extra lines and it was harder to edit and go back and forth. So what we've done is we've streamlined it into a page that is editable, similar to editing a policy in Confluence. So to find our specific new WHS reporting tool, we go to Form Results. Then we go to our school. As I said, we're using Hurstville Adventist School as our tutorial today. And under the WHS forms, where we used to go and look at your individual forms for your school, we have this one now called Hurstville WHS Maintenance and Improvement Tasks. When we click on this one here, we're greeted with this specific page. This allows us, and it lists all our previous maintenance improvement tasks as we build them. So next year we'll have this year's specific tasks in there. To create a new page, all we need to do is click this grey button up here that says Create WHS Maintenance Improvement Tasks. This loads a pre-generated template, which is just a combination of all 4 individual forms that you used to fill out in one specific space. Very first thing that we need to do is we need to label this page. This is like a tag or some other things that we use, but this tag is our school code HAS WHS. And we click add, and that's going to add the Hurstville Adventist School WHS tag onto this specific page. Already has the name across the top, and we're going to change our current year to 2020. Next year it'll be 2021, and so on. Add the name of the school in, Hurstville Adventist School, and the school company is Greater Sydney. Now, as you can see, it looks very similar to the forms that we used to fill out. And so how we fill the forms out and what we put in there hasn't really changed. It's just a little bit different in the way that we approach it. So instead of putting the field in who's responsible for it here, what we can do is this particular person here, the Workplace Inspection Program Quarterly Review. This person here is tag my name in there, and when I save this person will receive an email to say that they have been tagged in the WHS improvement task for 2020 to do a particular thing. Now I can click 2 backslashes, add a date in, and this particular task was due on the 26th of October, and we're still waiting for that to be completed. So I'm going to copy up my label from here, copy pending, and paste pending in here. So I know that this is currently a pending task. Once it's completed, I can change copy completed, paste completed into this particular status. Comment was, we can write some comments here about if we want to do about what actually happened, or if you need to write any comments for future reference about the inspection program. And then it was actually completed on what date was that actually completed on? It was completed on October 18, a little bit before the actual due date that it was done. We completed that early. Now, just say next task is our firefighting equipment and emergency lighting, and it's the annual inspection. Now, just say we don't do that in October. We actually do that one in January of Q2. So what I can do is I can get the move status, copy the move status, click on the open and paste it on top. So we have the moved option here. I can write a comment to be completed in January. So then what I can do is I can copy this particular item, highlight it. I can copy that. I can go all the way down to my other form, which is Q2. And in January, what I can do is I can paste firefighting into here. And for the time being, I can put that as a new status until it's actually ready to go. And I can say that I'm responsible for that one as well. I'm responsible for that particular task, and that particular task is to be done by, oh, it's January, too far, January 24. And then what I can do once it's completed, the same as before, write and copy the status to completed. Once that task is done, I can insert two little backslashes or forward slashes, insert a date. That ended up being done a little bit later than we originally due, but it was done on the 29th instead. And as I do one task or two tasks, and as I work my way through it, what I can do is then I can click Publish. Publish saves the changes to the page. And we can see here down the bottom that it fills out the information as we go along. The due date, some information. Oh, this one's actually been moved to be completed in January. What I can go to quarter 2, click on January. It takes me straight to the January page up here. And I can see the new item there that it's now currently being completed because that's what we saved it. As per all of our other Confluence pages, for our policies, we have what's called a version or a history. So I can see that this is the current version of it. It tells you what date it has been updated and who changed it. So every time you make a specific change to a page, this will be up here and we can look at the changes that have been made as a history for our WHS maintenance. Now, we finished quarter 1. Quarter 1's all finished and it's ready to be submitted. Before, we used to click a button to submit that to the WHS officer. In this particular case, now what we click on is we click on WHS quarter sign-off button. This pops up a little form. And so what I can do here is I can type in Hurstville Adventist School. I want to put my name down as the principal so no one else gets the email. So you put your school principal's name down there. Angela Brown is our reportable person for WHS to check off in this. Then I click here. It will automatically populate the name of who's submitting the form. Confirm that quarter 1, October to December, WHS maintenance and improvement tasks have been completed, and it puts today's date in. Then I click Submit. And that form disappears. It has been saved, and then both Angela and your principal will receive an email saying that quarter 1 is ready to go. Then we come back later on a little bit in a couple of months' time or a couple of weeks' time or a couple of days' time. We click Edit, and then we click on the one that we're working on, which is 2020, and then we can go through and we can add some extra information into our tasks by clicking Edit for that specific year. And then once we finish, we click Update. And because I've clicked Update, if I go down to the bottom, I can see that now this is the current version. I didn't actually change anything this time, but we can see that 2 versions have been changed there. Hopefully this will help streamline your WHS improvement tasks and make it a bit easier to make it a little bit more relevant to your school's process for this.